Greetings, everybody. It's Jim, and I have another piece of RPG treasure today. Because if you remember one of my last videos, I talked about how we had a nice fantasy trip score. I've got my fantasy trip T-shirt on today, by the way, because you know we're talking about some RPG goodness. So I had my fantasy trip score video where I talked about some of these items from Game Lords, which company we're going to be talking about today. And then I even said, hey, they made a thing called the Thieves Guild, and I did a whole video on that, and it was like $50, and you get all these items. Well, once again, I have found something from Game Lords that I probably should have thought of in the first place. I didn't want to take the dive into it, but I did. It was affordable, and I am so glad I did. Today, I am going to be talking to you about why you should be using Haven, the free city, from Game Lords. Now, the first thing I want to say before we go any further is do not buy this off of eBay. There's no reason to. It's available at Different World Publications. The link is down below. This is brand new, folks. I got it brand new, 20 bucks. Like I said the last time with that Thieves Guild stuff, they were all brand new. This is brand new material, 20 bucks. And you get shipping after you pay for 50 bucks of stuff. So, and the shipping's not exactly expensive anyway. It probably costs you like $6 or something. I mean, and that's anywhere across America. So by all means, 20 bucks, just grab it. You see it on eBay, you'll see it for maybe 50 bucks and it's beat up and everything like that. By all means, grab this and some other items. And the links will be down below for the other videos if you've never seen them before for Thieves Guild and the other supplements from Game Lords. This stuff is perfect for any role-playing game, but definitely is from the same writers that wrote some TFT stuff, the fantasy trip stuff, back in the day. So now let's go on. Now, I know a lot of you guys took the plunge for Thieves Guild to grab those 8 books for like 50 bucks and free shipping. And I know because you told me so and Tadashi Ahara told me so. Tadashi Ahara is, of course, of Chaosium fame, who is also keeping the torch alive for Different World Publications to keep products like Game Lords alive, and definitely grateful for him for that. It was kind of cool to know I had another connection in the industry there. So basically, some of you guys though that picked that up, that all that Thieves Guild stuff, might say to me, hey Jim, we've got these Thieves Guild information. There's so many. There's also cities in those with interlocking characters and personalities. There's so many of those, and they're just as detailed. Why would we need Haven? Well, first, 20 bucks. I'll say that over and over. It's a good deal. But the second is scale, and that's the real reason here. So let's just dig this. Game Masters will find complete details for over 100 distinctive shops, 60 random encounters, over 300 NPCs, and 25 complete adventures. Okay, now again, these adventures, if I've seen anything like the Thieves Guild, they're going to be generic, humanoid in base. I mean, they'll talk about elves and dwarves, but they'll stay away from anything that's going to have to deal with copyright issues for specific creatures, and whether it's Dungeons & Dragons or the Fantasy Trip. But nonetheless, there is a lot going on here already. So the first thing I'm going to talk about Haven is the map. Now, this was produced in the 1980s from a small publisher, so it's not going to be greatly artistic, based, but it is very functional. And sometimes I think it's better. If you see my wargame videos, I talk about how wargaming maps should not be overdone because then you lose something in the process. But when you're game mastering, this is also helpful too, so you can keep track of where everything's at. And, that's just fine because there is a lot going on. This is a big city. Now, the next thing is the little pamphlets they have here. They don't have a complete book about Haven, not at all, because this city's so big. Your characters will generally be in one or two areas at any one session. So you only, as a game master, you only take what you need, and you don't have to rifle through everything. Okay, Harn World actually does this from Columbia Games. They use a 3-ring binder method with the same idea, so you can take any piece of information you want and take it out instead of having to bring a big backpack with 20,000 books and get your steps in for the day. There's a good exercise there. But there's things like boroughs of the north and south corridors, the Heights, which is with the nobles, the Outlands, which is just, I'm assuming, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm thinking it's outside the city, and of course the Primer, which is the first thing you'll see, and then the borough of the Commons, and then Trade Island, which is right outside the city because it is a port city. And then the borough of the North Corridor, I think I mentioned that already. It was like the South Corridor, is just the main areas. And then there's borough of the Labyrinth. Now, the thing about the borough of the Labyrinth is this actually expands the secrets of the Labyrinth. So this is only 4 pages long, and they knew they were going to do this because they wanted to, of course, have a chance to link Thieves Guild into this. Okay, now there is Thieves Guild information in the game, and you'll see it here in a little bit. But of course, again, you don't have to worry about it. It's very easily transferable to any game you want to use. But definitely, the Secrets of the Labyrinth links up to any of the other Thieves Guild stuff that they had going on. And then here is a really interesting piece of information is the random encounters and NPC descriptions. Now, there's a reason why I like this one. Now, there's tons of NPCs here, just listed and ready to go. Again, you don't have to figure out too much for converting them. But what's really interesting here is the little dash encounters here. You just need a story for the night, and you know how players are. You come up with a story, and you think it's just a small little paragraph. Your players will come up with something. After all, there is a city for them to explore. They can go anywhere and get into all kinds of trouble, and then find other, because all these other NPCs generally have somebody that also they're interacting with. And next thing you know, what they thought was a subplot is now a major plot, and it's great. And what I also like about the encounters is it reminds me of the Labyrinth encounter cards that I wrote for Steve Jackson. It is out right now. You can get the link down below if you haven't gotten them yet. It's a deck of cards, which basically is the same idea. You're running blank a little bit. Hey, how will they handle this? What's happening here? It'll get your creative juices flowing. It'll get theirs going. And that's the idea. They're not necessarily combat cards and combat oriented. They're just things that happen. How do the characters react? All right. Hey, everybody down here. Hey, after you're done smashing that like and subscribe button, do yourself a favor and check the link down below so you can get yourself Hardworld, the medieval fantasy setting, for only $1. It's based off of medieval authenticity and it's system agnostic. You can use any system you want to, but we're not going to just stop there. We're also going to give you Harn decks. I kid you not. This used to cost $50 until just recently. We're giving it away now for the same dollar that you get Hardworld with. It's a 152-page reference for the entire world of Harn. There's over 1 million words in print for Harn. This is a beautiful smoking deal, but we're not done yet. We're also going to give you the nice reference for cities and towns, which talks about the societal connections, the guilds, the churches, the underground, all that. And since we're giving you practically the world in this deal, we might as well give you the world in the map form. It's a 34-inch by 22-inch PDF map of one of the most beautiful fantasy maps of all time, according to role players everywhere. You have to see it for yourself. And on the back of the map is more information on Harn. It's a great little primer to boot. So by all means, get into the link down below and go ahead and get yourself Hardworld for $1. Now at the bottom of the box is a nice little treat. You're getting a whole bunch of mini maps on top of everything. You already had the one map, but these are like little drilled down versions of what you see. This is like part of the North Corridor. This is the Outlands right here. Then you have the Heights, and you can tell this is the Heights, and it looks like it's a rich person's area because it's not as crowded as like the Commons would be. I mean, there's just a lot of these maps here. There's a good amount of them, and it just adds to the value of this entire box set. And one last thing, folks, I want you to take a look at this. This is the sales sheet that's in, a little advertisement for all their products. I want you to take a look at what's going on right there. Haven the Free City, $20. Guess how much this whole box costs? $20. It's the same price it cost in 1980, whatever. So by all means, everybody, get Haven the Free City. Go grab Haven the Secrets of the Labyrinth along with it, and maybe a few other items. Bump it up to $50. Get your free shipping there. And if you're in the mood, you could pick up the Labyrinth Encounter cards by yours truly at Steve Jackson Games. So thank you very much, everybody. That is the video for Haven the Free City, and I'll see you next video.